What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about Redbubble Tagging 101. This was an article created by Redbubble to inform us on how to create tags for our Redbubble stores. Now, what Redbubble specifically says is that our tags are responsible for getting us seen in the eyes of Redbubble customers, the end consumer, the person that buys that t-shirt, buys that sticker, right? Buys that coffee mug, for example. These are the people that purchase our products, but they have to find our products through tags. Now, if you want to learn and have a specific helping hand with tags, I created the course that is the Redbubble SEO course. Not only does it serve the SEO on the Redbubble end, but it also serves on the Google side of things. And the beautiful thing about the course is that we're constantly updating the course. In fact, just a few days ago, we added 5 new lessons to the course, and we always have a list here of the course curriculum. So everything that you can expect. Obviously, as we add more content to the course, the price is going to go up. In fact, the first price hike, the first price increase is going to go up very, very soon, within the next few days. So if you guys want to grab the course early on discount, essentially the price right now is $35.99. It's eventually going to go up to $79.99 with all the content that's being added over time. And we're going to do this over time, very slowly. So if you want to join now and get in on a cheaper price, I'll leave the link in the description box down below if you happen to need help with your tagging. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into tagging and the article that Redbubble has produced here. So essentially, what this article is some do's and some don'ts around Redbubble tagging. Okay, so the first do that they have is 15 tags on each design. Now, guys, with the 15 tags here, what they're really saying is that it's a minimum of 15 tags is a good way to go. They're not saying that the maximum is 15, but they're saying basically have at least 15. Now, the reason why they wrote 15, guys, the person who wrote this article probably isn't as specific. You guys could tell it's a very short article. It's probably like a 2-3 minute, 4-minute read. So they're not going to be that specific, but there are so many different designs on Redbubble that have more than 15 tags and succeed. There are some designs that have less than 15 tags and succeed. Just keep in mind that there's this general recommendation of 15 tags, at least 15 tags. Okay. Now, their don't is that they say don't repeat yourself. So if you have, for example, dog, you don't need dogs or dog lover or dog mom. Now, the reason why I recommend to add these extra tags is not for tag spamming, because it's really not tag spamming, but it's for specificity approach. So if you guys saw my video yesterday on the trending design, and you look up on Redbubble some of the t-shirts that I've created for that specific trend yesterday, I actually did this and I got on page 1. So it's not like you're breaking any rules, at least I think when I do this. It's helping my ranking system, but I think over time that they have to fix this approach, because if they don't want people to do it, they shouldn't optimize their algorithm for this, because this is what literally more than 95% of the people on the platform are doing. But if they do change their algorithm, right, let's say they ban the accounts or they stop the designs from going out there, that have this kind of feature in their tags, unfortunately, most of the platform is going to go out of business, because then nobody's going to see the good designs that are used to selling with this sort of tagging strategy. So for Redbubble, honestly, to be 100% honest, I don't think they're going to fix this aspect, because if they do, it will mean the fall of their platform, and that's just the reality of it. But let's go ahead and continue. All right. So here they have a do, and they says each of these categories. So essentially, this is their good idea of creating tags. First, you think of the content, the theme, and then the style. Okay. So the first part is the content. Where does it appear? You know, what piece of content appears in the design? Is it a mountain range? Is it dogs? Is it flowers? Is it trees? Are we seeing pictures of the star? Are we seeing pictures of the sun? What are we seeing exactly? Those are going to be those tags. The next one is going to be your theme tag. So, for example, if it's a picture of stars and the sun and like all of space, then you might want to write words like space as a theme, or things like that. So related to that, I was trying to think of another word that meant space, but I was gonna say atmosphere, but not really atmosphere. That wouldn't really make sense. But the theme of the area. So, for example, if it's a garden, if you have like a whole garden, you might want to write garden, nature, right? Botanicals, Zen. If it's a farm, you want to write farm, right? Things like that. So, style or color palette. You have the style or color palette, meaning the color, what you're seeing in front. So there's different styles of pieces of art: pencil drawings, watercolor paintings. It could be a floral style, like a floral pattern. It could be an abstract pattern, yeah, right, with a bunch of lines and colors and things that you don't typically see. It could be a camo pattern, as an example. So these are kind of their recommendations on, like I said, creating tagging. Here it says, don't waste space. Avoid being too broad, like funny, gifts, illustration. Now, like, this is another example, guys. Their don'ts here, guys, I don't think they're full requirements, because if you read this, how many people on Redbubble are doing this? Most of the people are. If you take, like I said, most of the designs, 95% of the designs are doing exactly what this is, right? They have words like funny and gifts and illustration and, things like that, or being too specific on their tags, right? For me, I actually have a strategy on why you should be specific for certain tags, and I've said it in the course, and I've shown the results, the sales results behind that. So, when you're being specific on certain tags, you're essentially niching down. This is the best way I could say it without giving up too much information in the course. And if you're just being broad and descriptive like this, you might be seen, but think about how many other people are doing the same thing. Like, if you have a garden in your design, if you tag flower, tree, how many people have tagged flower and tree on Redbubble? Probably hundreds of thousands. You're not going to show up on page 1. You're not even going to show up on page 50. You're probably going to be struggling for years and years and years before you get a single sale. This is why I'm saying the person who wrote this article probably is not a Redbubble seller, and that's just my opinion of it. Okay? Let's go ahead and continue. For their due here, it says, stay true to you. If you have a doodle of a pink dinosaur, tagging your work superhero or politics might get it shown to more people, but not ones that you wanted to buy. So notice what they say here. Very, very intriguing what they say, right? They say it might show it to more people, but it won't let people, essentially, but not the ones who want to buy it. So first of all, I agree with this statement here, right? If your design is about a dinosaur, don't tag it superhero or politics. That makes obvious sense. You want to tag it by reaching the people in that niche or that niche who are very interested in that specific design. But do you guys see what it says here? Might show it to more people. As Redbubble sellers, you want as many targeted individuals to see your designs as much as possible. You wouldn't want somebody with a low interest in your design. No, you want somebody who's interested. But guess what? You also want to show it to as many people as humanly possible. Well, that's why, like I said, I kind of show what I show in the tagging course. But for us guys, when we do our tags, and me specifically, obviously I won't do something like this because that will just hurt your sales. But no, I will do some of the don'ts that they don't recommend. Like, for example, being specific about certain designs. I have to be specific, right? Like, if I'm selling a picture of, let's say, a dog, if we only have the ability to choose one tag, would you rather use the tag dog? Would you rather use the tag corgi? Or would you rather use the tag brown corgi? I would use brown corgi because it's more specific, and I know the people who search specifically for brown corgi are going to find my specific design, and I'm going to show up amongst a small group. But if I use the tag dog, everybody else has dog pictures. It's going to take me like years to even be seen. If I use the keyword corgi, then yeah, I'm being somewhat specific, but I still don't have a guaranteed chance to show up and be seen. But if I use the word brown corgi, think about how many people are using that keyword. Very few. And this is something we've seen with Google over time, guys, is that over time, in the very beginning of Google, If you were focusing on short tail keywords for SEO, you'd be fine. But as Google emerged and people started to use the internet more, and essentially people were more comfortable with computers, and a computer is found in every house, you couldn't rank for short tail keywords anymore. You had to use long tail keywords. And of course, Google algorithm is now switching up their algorithm to favor more of the little guy and things like that. But with that being said, this is kind of like the same approach. Redbubble's algorithm really hasn't changed. And if we use the same one-word keywords that they're mentioning here, we're going to get crushed. We're not going to be seen. So the person who created this article it's a fine article, and it's good and it's descriptive, but it might lead people in the wrong direction because it doesn't reflect the algorithm in today's scenario, in today's atmosphere. Let's go ahead and continue. Don't use full sentences. So I actually, once again, disagree with this. If the full sentence has like 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 words, what's wrong with it? You're going to be exactly showing up for what exactly people see. And once again, I've used this example in my trending design that I created last night for the video. For the video last night, you guys can go on the search on Redbubble and sort the best selling. One of my designs is in the top 10 best selling. Just for that specific design, so you guys can check it out. But I use full sentences in that. I mean, somebody could deem it full sentences. But let's see here. Don't use full sentences. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. My argument is if people are searching for this exact keyword, then you should actually put it in your tags. That's my argument. But he's saying that whoever wrote the article is saying it's too much filler. But it's not filler if people are searching for it. Does that make sense? Like I can make the argument and I can understand if it's just fox jumps over lazy dog, right? I get that. That part I get. But if some people are searching for this exact term, like it's a term match, then you need to tag the whole entire thing, okay? Let's go ahead and continue. It says note your tags to use again. So I agree with this completely. You want to write your tags on the side somewhere, maybe in a notes app, maybe in some sort of application, maybe a Microsoft Word doc, somewhere where you can keep all the tag listed, so that when you do create designs in that exact same niche, you could save time and just copy and paste them. But ideally, you don't want to have the exact tags, and this is what I tell people all the time, is that let's say you have 10 designs. They're all in the exact same niche, and they're all variations of each other, right? What you want to do is you want to have different tags for each of them, but they're all related to the same niche, so that you're attracting different audiences, and you're multiplying the chance of being seen, right? So that's kind of the explanation, how I kind of explain that. But here it says, don't skip the description. Google sweeps Redbubble descriptions to support your SEO ranking. If you leave it blank, you're missing out. So I'll say this. I have different links on my Redbubble designs that are ranked on Google, okay? Now, how do I know they're ranked on Google? I actually have a strategy behind that. I feature that in the course, I believe. One of it is here, how to find if Google is indexing your designs. There we go. There's a whole lesson on that in the course. I know if Google is tracking, if Google has indexed and ranked my designs or not. There's a way to figure that out, and I figured it out. And what it's saying here is that don't skip your Redbubble descriptions. A lot of the ones that have ranked don't have descriptions. In fact, majority of my stores don't have descriptions, and I still rank on Google. So once again, this is just another thing that I want to explain to you guys, is that it's not, this is not the person who's writing this article. I could tell you for a fact they probably don't have a Redbubble store. If they do have a Redbubble store, then maybe they're just not aware of the possibilities. With all due respect, nothing in terms of disrespectful manner, of course. Here it says, do aim for single word tags when possible, but be specific. But specific multi-word tags are good sometimes good too. Keep hiking and trails. Separate but Grand Canyon works great altogether. So this is another example of exactly what I was talking about up here. So this is the exact word match phrase that I've mentioned. So for Grand Canyon, you wouldn't separate this because people search it as one term, right? Even though it's multiple words. This is the same idea. Imagine the Grand Canyon was called the greatest Grand Canyon of all canyons. Let's just say that's what it was called. Well, then you would tag it, that whole line, that whole sentence, the greatest Grand Canyon of all canyons, okay? But let's just say, based on this advice, you can confuse people. You could say, wait a minute, so am I not supposed to write the whole entire thing? This is what I'm trying to say, guys, is that these articles are not very specific, and they don't really help too much, because somebody could read this and can be completely dumbfounded. They're like, what do I do? It says here, don't do it. Then it says here, do it, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's difficult. It's difficult to understand, but I'm telling you guys for a fact, you can use specific keywords to help you rank better and to get seen by the right people. In fact, when people are searching for exact keyword terms that specifically become long tail on Redbubble, the buyer intent does increase. Like if I'm searching for the word rose, there are a million different kinds of roses, but if I'm searching for yellow exotic rose or exotic yellow rose, now I'm searching for a certain kind of rose. I'm not searching for all these different kinds. And so what does that do? That increases my buyer intent, because when I see a red rose, now I know for a very specific fact, I don't want to see a red rose. I want to see a yellow rose. Does that make sense? All right, let's go ahead and jump into the don't section. It says include the product type. Don't include the product type. T-shirt, hoodies, etc. So once again, I'm not saying do this, okay? But very specifically, I have seen products that I have added the product type, the hoodie, the T-shirt, etc., and I've gotten very successful with them, and I've gotten sales within the first 2 weeks in highly competitive categories. Maybe I got those sales because I was doing exactly what it says don't do. Now, if you think about it, guys, the reason why they say don't do this stuff is not because it will hurt Google rankings but because it will, hurt your ranking or it won't get you sales. That's not why. They just want to reduce as much tag spamming as possible. But my recommendation for Redbubble is if you want to reduce tag spamming, you don't write an article on it, you enforce it through your algorithm, right? Now, obviously, there has to be something wrong with because if you look at it, Redbubble's a public company now. I don't know who the seats on the board are or people who are in charge of making the decisions, but whoever is at the top, they probably know about this issue because they actually took the time to write a blog on this. They probably know about this tag spam issue, but they don't want to fix it because it might change the outcome of the sales reports at the end of the year. Okay, if people are used to finding their designs a certain way, and then all of a sudden that algorithm changes, it could be make or break. It could really hurt the business. And I think Redbubble is at a point right now where it's too big to change. Now, you can make the argument that no platform is ever too big to change. You can make that argument only for free-to-use platforms, like, for example, a YouTube or an Instagram, because people are going to use those platforms anyway. But let's say you're a consumer and you're looking for a specific design on Redbubble, right? And you don't find that design, you're just going to walk away. You're not going to buy something because you can't find it. You're not going to buy some other design because you can't find what you want. It typically doesn't happen. You want exactly what you want, and you're looking for what you're looking for. That's the whole point of the search function. But who knows what's going to happen? And the problem here as well is that if you look at 95% of the people using Redbubble, they don't abide by these rules. They don't abide by this. So if you're going to enforce it through an algorithm perspective, you're going to ban or remove 95% of the designers, that's essentially starting from ground zero again. All the designs that were once curated are going to essentially vanish on the platform, and it's going to hurt the success. It says here, check out this great example of room dessert designed by blah, blah, blah. So what I did was I clicked on it, and here is the actual design, and we can go ahead and look at the tags. So these are the tags, and you guys could see here with the tags probably, this is not even 15, it's probably a little more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 designs, 17 tags, we're looking at. So once again, this do use 15 tags. It should say use a minimum of 15 tags, or we recommend a minimum of 15 tags. It shouldn't say do use 15 tags, because a beginner is going to read this and say, okay, I can't do any more than 15, I can't do less than 15. I have to do 15 every single time. You get what I'm trying to say, guys? It's just there's lack of specificity here, which hurts the success of the end user. But the unfortunate thing is we can't tell how many sales this t-shirt is getting. What we can do is we can go over here and click on the word octopus, and we can see where it ranks, right? And we can see here, if we go to best selling, let's go ahead and do that. We can see here, it's not even in the top 10 of best selling. So what does it say? It's not in the top 30. Is it in the top, or excuse me, it's not in the top 30 here. Top 40, probably not. So it doesn't even seem like the design doesn't even look like the design is on the first page of the best selling. So how is this a great design or a greatly designed tag if it's not even on the first page of the best selling? My answer is because the tags. Yes, the tags follow all their requirements and all this, but does it actually make you money? The answer is no. So like I said, specifically the reason why I came out with the tag course is to guide people for a money-making guide on Redbubble and via Google. Remember, guys, when you're posting a design on Redbubble, you're not just posting it on Redbubble, but you're taking advantage of two algorithms. You're taking advantage of Google, and you're taking advantage of Redbubble. Over time, your Google ranking will improve, and there are ways to help it improve and things like that. And there are certain keywords to look out for and different strategies. And you have a whole completely different algorithm, which is the Redbubble algorithm. And the Redbubble algorithm, there's certain ways to show up there. You guys can see here the one design that they publicly recommended, that they said did a great job, is not even on the first page of the best selling. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the design is not actually that successful overall, and if that's the barometer of success, then maybe that's a bad barometer, because we as artists on Redbubble are looking to make money. We're not looking to, do some, no offense, but this is exactly what I'm trying to say, is that these recommendations don't help a seller. Maybe they help for quality control, but they don't help a seller, because we're past quality control. If you guys know anything about Redbubble, I could search for the word tiger and I could see a picture of a goat pop up. Quality control, we're a little bit past that. But that's what the article is about, in my opinion. But like I said, if you guys want to learn more about tagging and a whole SEO strategy behind it, the Redbubble course is here. If you guys want the tagging and the titling guide, behind Google, read the curriculum, figure out if you decide you need it or not, and that's all I gotta say. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.